Today we're making albondigas en salsa española, a super humble and delicious sauce, super easy to make, one pot recipe. Let's go. For the meat, I used 50% beef and 50% pork, and then what we're going to do is basically season it, okay? For that, I'm going to add 1 egg and a little bit of white bread soaked in milk. That's going to help our albondigas to stay moist and nice after the cooking. And then for the flavor, we're going to add some parsley, some garlic, some salt, and some ground pepper. And a little trick, dried boletos. If you have this thing, this is my trick to make the albondigas taste next level. A little bit of dried porcini, dried boletus is just like packed with umami, and I actually add it to a lot of things. Once everything's in the bowl, clean hands and use them to mix it all well. And then we're gonna shape it in balls of around, think of 2-3 bites, okay? We don't want them too small because that's just annoying. You would have to make a lot of them, so I like to make them 2-3 bites more or less. We just coat them slightly, okay, with a little bit of flour. Make sure you get rid of all the excess. Now, we're gonna cut the vegetables, and for that, I actually want in this recipe the cuts to be as uneven as possible. This recipe actually has its origin not in professional cuisines with professional chefs and a professional knife and everything. This is made by grandmothers. What I'm looking for here is not perfection, but the opposite. I'm looking to have some small pieces together with some big pieces, so the small ones, they get caramelized and almost even burned, while the other ones are a little bit raw. That's what makes this sauce, I would say, a little bit more special than any professional sauce. First, we're gonna sear our albondigas slightly with a little bit of oil, and then in the same pot, we're gonna brown our vegetables. So once the albondigas got a nice color, we take them out, and then we're gonna put in the same pot the vegetables. And we're gonna roast them. We're gonna toast them a lot. We want to get as much caramelization as possible. So what I'm gonna be doing is try not to move it a lot. After around 15 minutes more or less, look how it looks. I kept it in high heat for the whole time, moved it every once and then, and it got this beautiful golden color. That's like mandatory for this sauce. Without this color, the sauce would not be powerful enough. So we want this exactly result. And now we're gonna continue by doing this. We're gonna slightly toast a little bit of saffron, then we're gonna put a little bit of tomato paste, mix it all together, and then the albondigas back in, and we cover with broth. So this is how it looks. Once the broth is in, already smells super good, and now we're gonna let it stew for around 15 minutes more or less. Then we will take the albondigas out, blend the sauce until smooth and perfect. The meatballs back in and the sauce. Well, this is completely optional, but depending how thick you want your sauce, you add more broth now or not. In my case, it's pretty thick. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more broth. Now we just bring this to a simmer again for another 5 more minutes more or less, and this is ready. The sauce is extremely velvety and nice, and the albondiga inside still preserves some juiciness. Difficult to see on the camera, but you gotta believe. Probably the best meatball recipe out there in the internet. I'm not sure, but it's pretty good.